Rishi Raj Singh is one of the co-founders and directors of Indian Political Action Committee, I-PAC. Most of you, I'm sure, know Prashant Kishore. So Rishi, the relationship currently is a bit complicated, but Rishi was one of the co-founders of I-PAC and one of the brains and strategists behind that famous body which really brought an entire genre of election management to the fore. Robin Sharma used to be with Rishi till some time ago. He's now the founder director of Showtime Consulting. He's a MBA graduate. He studied robotics at the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Bombay. He's been with Accenture in the past. He also worked with CAG. You remember CAG, that body which helped Chief Minister Modi before his Lok Sabha campaign, before he became Prime Minister. I want to introduce Naresh Arora. He looks a bit like a Bollywood star, but don't get mistaken just yet. He runs Design Box, and there are very foxy characters he's worked with, including campaigns in Rajasthan and in Karnataka. Currently, he's working with Ajit Pawar in Maharashtra. Robin works currently with the Eknath Shinde Sarkar in Maharashtra. So they're on the same side of the political fence. And just so that you have some context, Rishi works with Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal. I'm just giving you current assignments so you have a sense of what they do. So let me start by asking Naresh first, because we had Ajit Pawar here yesterday. Now, Ajit Pawar is like this Dada of Maharashtra. You're wearing like this fancy suit, 140 knots, you look at your shoes, very crisply polished. Now, how do you communicate anything to Ajit Pawar? He's like, कहाँ से आया रे boss? ये IIT, robotics, ये क्या है? How? मुझे बताएगा Maharashtra boss. I've grown up here. I understand this place. So how does this dynamic work?
First of all, when I meet him, I don't wear these suits. So that makes life a bit easier. But on a serious note, politician, whether it is Mr. Ajit Pawar or anyone else, only the secure politicians listen to anyone. That's the first. And I have been fortunate to have worked with some of them, and Ajit Pawar is one of them who is clear in his head and clear in his mind, sees where the shortcomings are, where they need to be plugged in, and who is the best person to do that. So till now, in my experience or my journey, I have not found this difficulty of making anyone understand what I want to convey. And
so are you the one behind his image changeover, the colorful jackets he's wearing, he's smiling a lot more. So is that Naresh telling him behind the scenes, ki dada thoda haso, thoda colorful jacket pehno, that's how you'll attract women voters? Is that the role you play?
I think the smile that you see on his face these days is probably the one he has hidden since last 30 years. So he's smiling a bit more.
No, but I can see that you're wearing a pink color shirt, right? And suddenly we are seeing that Ajit Pawar, who is a rugged politician, have never wore anything else than white, suddenly wearing a pink jacket. He doesn't call it pink jacket, he calls it a maroon jacket. But yeah, when he wears a pink jacket, his party color has suddenly changed to the pink. What is this pink revolution you could bring in? Ajit Dada को दो शब्द कहने के लिए लोग डरते हैं. आपने जाके कैसे बोल दिया कि दादा अभी आपको पिंक पहनना पड़ेगा? ऐसे ये कैसे हो सकता है?
First of all, Sahil, this pink jacket is not something which has come out of the blue, I would say, which is a color contrast.
But you say it is pink, he says it's not a pink color by the way.
Yeah, it is not, it's a shade of pink. But that's the same jacket which he was wearing the day he delivered the last budget, the 10th budget he did. And that jacket happened to be the color what he's wearing these days. And the biggest scheme, the flagship scheme which they are promoting is the Ladki Behan Yojana, as you know. So that was a thought that it could resonate with the people to remind them that yes, he's the guy who's presented the budget. And he's the one who's fulfilling the aspirations of almost 2 crore ladies and women of this state. So I think that has worked well for them till now, and that is why we were conversing. You did ask this question, I think Rajdeep did to Mr. Pawar yesterday, and he gave an opportune answer.
Rishi, you worked with HSBC, Credit Suisse in the past. Now you work with Mamata Banerjee. Ek taraf Credit Suisse, ek taraf Mamata Banerjee. How does that dynamic work?
See, it's not about any leader. I would say one thing we should get it absolutely right, that almost all the leaders, at least that I have worked with and that I see at the helm of the affairs in this country, are few of the most intelligent ones. And out of their intelligence, they know who to listen to, what to listen to, when to listen to. In today's time, every party needs a consultant. And I would want to put it out right here that in today's time, there is no political party who can win an election without a political consultant.
Really?
I'm not saying that you need to have consult or you are winning because of political consultant. What I'm saying is political parties cannot win elections without political consultants. And I'll give a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is the general intent of a politician is for himself or herself to win. It is not about because he himself wants to be MLA or minister. He would not be caring about, a neighbor, rather he would want his neighbor to lose the elections. And it is only the consultant who can give you that 360-degree picture and without any political, personal bias in that. Secondly, I don't think in today's time, I have not seen in any party, in any setting, there is any politician who has guts to go walk up to a leader and give a honest, pure feedback, especially if that feedback is negative.
I want to tell all of you one story.
By the way, Rahul, yeah, please go ahead.
So Rishi and Robin are sitting next to each other, looking very amiable and cordial, which is great.
Which we are.
Just recently in Andhra Pradesh, their teams were fighting like mad. Okay,
Against each other.
Rishi was working with the I-PAC. I-PAC was with Jagan Reddy. Jagan Reddy got defeated quite badly, and the man who beat him was Robin. Now you've been teammates in the past, right? So how does this work? Ki your teams are duking it out, fighting. Do you get together in the evening and get a drink? Aaj mere camp mein ye hua, mere camp mein ye. How does that dynamic play out?
Rahul, you have become this movie director. You are writing the script here and you are enacting it. We are good friends, let it be. And by the way, these hands are not what political consultants do.
No, but because you fought in the Andhra Pradesh election, is it not that because Robin's client won the election, he got a new client here in Maharashtra, and which you could have got?
Actually, he was working with that client much earlier, but yeah, he will have miles
ज़्यादा
to go
विश्वास
after
हो
that.
गया ना कि रॉबिन ने जीत लिया आंध्र
So we
प्रदेश.
started Maharashtra, I think, February last year. So it is not right to say that because we won Andhra Pradesh, and since you talk about Andhra Pradesh, see, we were not working against I-PAC or I was not working against Rishi. My job was to ensure that TDP comes back to power, Mr. Naidu becomes the chief minister again. So it's
बट
our perspective.
आपने बोला तो होगा ना कि आप ये बोल दीजिए ताकि वाईएसआर कांग्रेस खतरे में आ जाएगी, हमारा सिक्का चल जाएगा.
YSR's
यही
Congress,
सब स्ट्रेटेजी दी
not
होगी.
I-PAC. YSR Congress, not I-PAC. So, see, ultimately, this industry is very small. We do not have any, we do not fight against each other. We fight for the client. We work for the client, irrespective of whoever is against us.
Good thing is, Rahul, I think we should take pride in this, that back in 2013-14, there was a group of people, and majority of them are leading different political consulting groups, working with probably all the top leaders across India. And I think I personally, whether, he could be working somewhere, I could be working somewhere, and 10 other people could be working somewhere. But I really, really take pride in that.
No, so give everyone sitting here some insights on how you function. Because you come from consultancies or MNCs, now suddenly you have to go to Akola. Now you have to figure out कि बस ticket किसको देना है. आपका आदमी आया, वो young fellow, and he's now supposed to tell Sharad Pawar ji or Supriya Tai or Devendra Fadnavis that how do you build that credibility where this leader thinks this ये बच्चे का मुझे बताएगा? How does that work?
See, first of all, in Andhra Pradesh also, Mr. Naidu had a 40 years of experience, 14 years as CM. I am nobody to tell him that I can help you. But please understand that we are not the horse that pulls the cart. We are a small cog in the wheel which pulls the cart, and horse is the leader. So we play a very small role to structure things, to give an unbiased feedback, and to ensure that whatever is reality, whatever we are telling closer to truth.
नहीं, लेकिन अभी ऋषि ने कहा था बीच में कि लीडर इंटेलिजेंट होते हैं एंड दे डिसाइड कि किसकी सुननी है किसकी नहीं सुननी है. मेरा मानना है कि लीडर तब सुनते हैं जब वो प्रॉब्लम में होते हैं. तब तक वो किसी की नहीं सुनेंगे जब तक वो प्रॉब्लम में नहीं. तो क्या आपने जाके अजीत पवार को बताया कि सर आप अगर पिंक जैकेट नहीं पहनेंगे तो इलेक्शन हार जाओगे?
See, first of all, I am feeling a little bit out of family affair.
And you're not from the I-PAC family.
I think Design Box is the only consultancy who doesn't have any roots or branches out of I-PAC. But that, nevertheless, this, on a serious note, adding on to Rishi's point, my first chief ministerial working experience was with Shri Veerbhadra Singh. So Veerbhadra Singh was MP with Jawaharlal Nehru and MP with Rahul Gandhi also. And 7 times I think he was the chief minister of one of the most difficult territorial states in the country. And how could a Naresh Arora, as rightly Rahul asked, that would go and tell Veerbhadra Singh that, okay, fine, you do this and you don't do that. It's about that insights which anyone can bring in as an idea, but with a pedigree to conviction also. That you have to be persuasive and to be convincing enough for the person to understand that, yes, this is something which can add on to the value. Trouble, obviously, we all run to astrologers or people run to astrologers when they find the time's tough. So in any case, whenever the political consultancy is approached or political consultancy is working with anyone, it is a situation where they need to salvage the situation. And as Rishi rightly said, I agree with it and I have been a proponent of it since long, that no party in future is going to be able to function, not even the party, even the political leaders are not going to be able to function with some professional assistance or help. The only issue which I have been finding till now, especially because I have been working with a party in which has a bigger base in the country, is a national party, is that there is no acknowledgement to the field the way it should be as any other professional field. When the sessions are held in which the conversations are true, the insights are shared, everything is agreed upon, then why it is not acknowledged as an open field? It will create a lot of opportunities, it will create a lot of jobs, and I have been propagating this since years, but leaders still feel that it openly we give someone a credit or an acknowledgement might harm their chances. But in US, as you know, and these people have been working since more longer than me, in fact, that no election in US is run without help of a professional.
No, so let me explain the disconnect. The disconnect is that political parties, whether it's the BJP or the Congress, want these consultants or people with consultant skills to come on board, that you join us, like a Sunil Konagolu in the Congress, many in the BJP, the Association of Billion Minds, ki boss aap andar aa jao, ye bahar se nahi chalta hai. This whole McKinsey model doesn't work. How much pressure is that? That you basically just come and become a card-holding member of the Congress or the BJP, ye bahar se gyan mat do.
I think this kind of pressure generally is put by national parties.
Correct.
Regional parties we do not have such pressure. And I believe, my personal opinion is that it is not right for people like us to join a party. Because at the end of the day, the human nature is that we tend to get bias if we start aligning with one ideology. For example, if someone is left-leaning, I have to tell them what is right for them. If someone is right-leaning, I have to tell them what is left for them to cater to.
Left or right, dono chala lete ho.
If someone is at the center, we have to ensure that they are at the center of the stage.
I think,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, yes.
I think, Rahul, to answer to that, I think there has to be a group, or there have to be individuals, or there have to be many other groups who need to take the responsibility of taking this particular industry to newer heights. And for that very reason, there has to be some sort of independence that these people need to have, and then they need to exercise. If the parties want to build internal capabilities, they're free to do that, and they're doing that, as you rightly said, in many cases. But for this industry, I believe, after having spent like 11 to 12 years in this industry, I think seriously there have to be some serious effort by professionals like us who have seen so much of this industry to actually lift this industry up. Because right now, of the political consulting industry, what we all of us are seeing is only tip of the iceberg.
तो आपको पैसा व्हाइट में मिलता है कि ब्लैक में? पेमेंट कैसे करते हैं नेता?
100% check, 100% white.
ये कुछ नहीं बोल रहे.
200% check.
हमें तो 100% मिलता है चेक में. 200% जिस दिन मिलेगा और मजा आएगा.
I'll tell you why I'm asking this, because a lot of young people who are watching may be interested. But they don't want payment in cash, right? I mean, they want it. Is it like a bona fide job as a political consultant, or half payment is in cash and half payment?
No, no, I'll answer that, Rahul. See, as probably Naresh said here, this political consulting is nothing new. It was there before 2013 and 14 also. After 2013 and 14, why is it that there was this exponential growth in this particular field? It was only because of a lot of professionals coming from really bright field and backgrounds actually becoming part of it. And only because of that collective effort of all those professionals, this industry actually boomed. And right now you could see thousands of such professionals working here. This was made possible because professional practices, ethics, and all processes were put in place. So to answer to your question, unless the complete professional ethics are there, you take all the money in check, and as consulting companies work, as media companies work, so do political consulting.
So do you advise us to get into that? I mean, looking at our...
See,
already Rahul Kanwal is part of it. He's doing a lot of DIUs. So I think he's already part of
but
that.
He's not getting paid for it.
In any case, every politician...
He should do it as a job as a journalist.
No, one thing I want to comment here, talking about job. And, I would ask Rishi and Naresh also on this. I believe that this particular political consulting is not a career. It's a choice, it's a commitment. If you have a commitment to make people's life better, only then you can excel for a long term. You have to ensure that, the leader also who is committed, you ensure that he comes to power. For example, today if you go to AP, there was flood situation in AP very recently. And if you do not know who the chief minister is, and you see that in 1 week, you have reached to, the government has been able to reach to 1 crore people, spending relief material through drones, you can guess that chief minister
Robin, pardon my cynicism. The fact is, boss, आपको जहाँ पैसा मिला आपने वहाँ पे काम किया ना. I'll tell you why. Now you've got a contract from Eknath Shinde ji. So you've come here. If say Sharad Pawar ji had given you a contract, you could have potentially gone there. You got a contract with Chandrababu Naidu, you went there. आपको जगन बुलाएगा, आप उधर भी जाओगे ना. So ये ऐसा, you're giving a moral halo to a commercial transaction.
Talking like Prashant.
What Robin is wanting to say is that the commitment is required to the profession. It seems from outside as a very easy job to go and give an advice. With advice comes responsibility. If you are advising a sitting chief minister that no, what you are thinking on those lines is not right and something which we are suggesting should be done, it's a big responsibility which comes to you, and it is a lot of commitment. And how much hard work it takes, Rishi, me and Robin can very well tell that our sleep meters only tell us 2-3 hours a day, and that is how it works when the elections are happening on its own. And one more thing which Robin has been saying is that this has the potential to get to something which India has probably never seen, considering the kind of elections, the number of elections we have, the levels of elections we have, and the stakes in the elections that we have.
So you're all opposed to one nation, one election. Agar one nation, one election ho gaya, inka dhanda to gaya.
No, Rahul. No? I think the biggest business that is going to be hit is the media industry. And political industry, we have all those elections. Good that we will get, holidays for a couple of years.
Yes, exactly.
And by the way, picking up a client, I think it is just like a marriage. Someday you happen to meet somebody somewhere and it works out between you and you decide to be together. But that relationship only continues if there is that unbreakable trust between the two. If that trust is broken, then it doesn't go forward.
एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट ये भी है, जैसे राहुल शरद पवार को मिलने के लिए, मैं नाम नहीं लूंगा, एक बहुत बड़े पोलस्टर या फिर स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट गए हुए थे, मतलब उनको किसी ने मिलाया. तो शरद पवार का ये कहना था कि अगर 55 साल पॉलिटिक्स में बिताने के बाद मुझे अगर कोई ये कहने के लिए आए कि भाई मुझे मेरा पॉलिटिक्स कैसे करना है, तो मुझे पॉलिटिक्स में रहने का कोई अधिकार नहीं है. ये भी एक स्कूल ऑफ थॉट है पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स का. How do you deal with that? Most of the leaders, Mamata Banerjee has spent more than 50 years in politics. Eknath Shinde has risen from being a corporator to the chief minister. Ajit Pawar, he has probably more experience than number of elections you might have handled. How do you go and tell them कि नहीं boss, आपको जरूरत है हमारी और आप हमारे पास ही आइए?
Sahil, so see, political consultants, they are like a mirror, right? Even when you have to shave your own face, right? You need a mirror. It's your face. But because there are blind spots, because you can't see certain things which are there, so that is why you need that mirror. And as I said, going ahead, right? What political consulting used to be invest in 1960s, when it used to be only about TV ads and media training, versus what it became to 1980s and 1990s, when it also included voter outreach, when it also included raising funds, and then what it happened in 2000s, when actually this digital data analysis and so many other technologies came into picture. I think with the growing trend and with the growing awareness, it's not just the people sitting in this room who are getting aware. I think even those leaders, they are getting aware of all those avenues where they see a lot of growth capabilities and potential. And for that, they tend to choose and work with certain
So I
political
have a question in public interest.
Just to
Yes.
just to add to his point, very interesting point which Rishi has made. You know, radio, then TV, and then 2004-5 onwards, internet. And if you see the rise of digital media, social media is kind of complemented, or you can see the equal rise of BJP, because BJP was fast enough to latch on to the rise of the digital communication, and both rose together. So it is very important that with changing times, are you fast enough, are you quick enough, are you swift, or are you nimble enough to latch on to the ongoing trends? Ab AI aa raha hai, to usme we have to be ready.
So I have this question in public interest and I'll ask it to Naresh. पैसा कितना देते हो सर आप? कोई आया काम करने के लिए, what is the average pay that someone should expect if they are watching you and saying, "Hey, मेरे को काम करना है आपके साथ." What are the pay brackets like at different levels?
Has Kallipuri narrated the pay scales ever in publicly? So, pay scales are, of course, I mean,
No, I'm not specifically saying. I'm just saying, give a broad, like if I ask,
depends.
you can
It
see
is
this
not a
question,
single
they'll answer this.
department industry. It is not a single department industry in which we have multimedia, we have data, we have research, we have ground. Everywhere there are different verticals, and all verticals have their different pay scales according to the work skills and the kind of inputs that people bring in. Someone who's working on the ground for example, 18 to 20 hours a day, not having food, traveling all the time, has a different pay scale. So someone working from the comforts of the office but having a skill set which probably the ground person doesn't have, a different pay scale.
अच्छा, ये
नहीं,
dodge
चलो
कर रहा है,
आप
it's not
वो
done.
मत बोलिए, मैं अलग तरीके से पूछता हूँ इसी बात को. देखिए, there is too much of stake for a political leader to win assembly elections, and everybody knows why, right? So obviously लोग यही सोचते हैं, और हम जो सुनते हैं उस हिसाब से कि मैं अमाउंट बोलूंगा, आप बोल दीजिए ऊपर नीचे, ये भी चल जाएगा, आप डायरेक्टली मत बोलिए कि कितना मिलता है. बट नॉर्मली इट्स सो मच ऑफ स्टेक कि लोग कहते हैं कि भाई जो मांगे वो ले लो. ऐसा होता है कि भाई जो मुझे जीता दो, आप जो मांगे ले लो.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. थिंग्स हैव टू बी रैशनलाइज, थिंग्स हैव टू बी, इफ यू आर, एक बार ऐसा हो सकता है, पर अगर आपको इस इंडस्ट्री में सर्वाइव करना है, यू हैव टू बिल्ड रेपुटेशन फॉर योरसेल्फ टू बी रीजनेबल, and you have to spell out what is required, what is not required, how much is going to cost. It is not that people are not aware and people are sitting on Mars and they're working on Earth. Everyone is aware of what is around.
No, so Rishi, do you get like a victory bonus? Like you get a sales incentive. Do you get a victory bonus? कि Stalin को जिता दिया, now DMK says, okay, Rishi, victory bonus.
I wish we would have, but so far no. No luck there. But for all the leaders and the parties that we have worked with, if they are willing to cover the salaries, the expenses of my team, that's it, nothing more.
नहीं,
And
बट
it's
ऐसा भी
also
होता होगा ना.
part of trust, you know, that you are transparent enough to tell them that what is going to cost, and this is the cost, and this is how much we deserve. So that's how it
नहीं,
works.
बट ऐसा भी होता होगा ना कि ठीक है इलेक्शन कैंपेन तक कितना, लेकिन अगर जीत गए तो इतना, ये भी तो होता
अभी
होगा.
तक तो ऐसा हुआ नहीं है, होना चाहिए बस.
See, it's a high risk industry. If
उन्होंने अगर ये बोल दिया कि अगर हार गए फिर
पैसा वापस.
exactly.
No, so, you know, the big challenge for political consultants and strategists is that they have to maintain the right balance. I must tell you that it took us a lot of effort to convince these guests to come here. And this is the first time I know, for example, that Rishi is coming at all. And you just are thinking, ki aun, karun, should I not? The problem is if you overdo it, then netas get very upset. ये प्रशांत किशोर बन रहा है, ये अपना ओवर स्मार्ट बन रहा है, and इसको लगता है. So how do you deal with that? You know, one is of course you want to, and I saw you did a lot of interviews after Andhra Pradesh, you want to speak about what you've done, but you don't want to overdo it where it looks like ये ममता बनर्जी को outshine करने की कोशिश. So you want to give her the credit, and yet, as you said, get some acknowledgement.
See, for example, you spoke about Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is See, we all know, entire country knows Chandrababu Naidu ji. He's a statesman. I have never seen a leader who is he's a very sharp leader, very focused, very determined, very disciplined. And I started working with him for early 2020, with 4.5 years, now almost 5 years. After elections, he took a leave. He never took a leave. He was even ready 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday morning. And he will sit till 7 in the evening without, taking a nap. He's very determined. So if I tell him that, mere bina aapka chalega nahi, so it's really wrong to say that. We can just structure things. We can bring on the table whatever little is required to ensure that we are on the right track. We give proper feedback which is closer to truth. That's it. I think leaders, all leaders, including Eknath ji, I mean, he's a people's man. You know him. Very simple person, very hardworking, and heart of gold. I mean, he's a very kind-hearted person.
You keep in mind कि जीतने का chance, I don't want to name him, but somebody I know very well, the charge against him is that he first sees कि boss ये जीतेगा कि नहीं जीतेगा. अगर जीतने का chance है तभी वो घुसते हैं, हारने वाले campaign में पड़ते ही नहीं है.
Glad that you asked this question because when I started working with TDP in Andhra Pradesh, all my friends, including some of my media friends, said that you're taking the wrong assignment because TDP will never come back. Chandrababu Naidu ji की age हो गई है, he will not come back, TDP is finished, Jagan is very strong. Everyone advised against it. But we took it as a challenge. Similarly happened in Maharashtra. Everyone advised that Eknath ji nahi hoga. In Lok Sabha, you know that, Sahil was telling me 1 or 2 seats आएंगी. 3, 4, we wanted more seats. We were, we were on the right track to win 11 seats. We won 7. But it's a sweet victory that
do you see कि is your client going to win or lose? Do your own poll before deciding do you want to work for someone या contract हुआ तो कोई भी चलेगा?
I mean, you reach a stage where you see that where we can have the best chance, you can make a difference. Otherwise, fighting a losing election, no one wants to do it out of any one of us. But when you start, of course, your choices are different. When you are doing something right, your picking of choices changes. But I have a divergent view from Robin that there are occasions when I feel that I should pick up the mic and try to say what I'm wanting someone else to say. But then there are restrictions and boundaries because a consultant can't be a story. The story has to be the leader. We can be everything what people want to name us, a director, script writer, cinematographer, anything. But we can't be actors.
Interesting part is that all of you have worked with the regional parties. और रीजनल पार्टीज में सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत क्या होती है कि जो कैडर होता है ना वो बड़ा सेंसिटिव होता है अपने लीडर के बारे में, राइट? तो आप कैडर को कैसे समझाते हो? क्योंकि आप कैडर से बात करो तो बोलते हैं कि ये कौन आके हमको बता रहा है, हमारा लीडर इसकी बात मान रहा है, हमको भी इसकी बात माननी पड़ रही है. एंड देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डिसकंटेंट अगेंस्ट मोस्ट ऑफ यू कि भाई कैडर बोलता है कि ये आके हमको अभी हमारा बॉस तो ये बन गया करके. ये कितना होता है और कैडर को आप कैसे समझा पाते हो? कोई भी
our approach is always of collaboration, not cannibalization. If I meet a leader, whether it is in Maharashtra or was in AP, I always tell them that I can never know this state more than you.
But is there a pushback from the leaders around?
Of course there is.
थोड़ा होता है.
If anywhere you enter, everyone thinks who are you who have come out. Especially I face something of that sort from shifting from north to south. That how can a North Indian come and tell us something which we already don't know 20 years back? So every kind of push is there, but at the end of the day, you have to establish your credentials. You can't rest on your past laurels.
Sometimes what happens is when you spend a lot of time strategizing, you end up becoming a politician.
Yeah.
We've seen it's happened with someone you guys know well, Prashant Kishore. So I have a googly question, which I don't know whether you're expecting or not. What do you think of Prashant Kishore's chances in Bihar? He thinks he'll win Bihar. Rishi, I'll start.
I know Robin's answer.
Possible?
I think Robin should be barred from giving this answer.
Yes, Rishi.
It is, I'm nobody to comment on that, and probably none of us sitting here can actually comment on that. But he's been working really, really hard there in Bihar with best of his intents. All our well wishes are with him. He is going to give it everything, and he will give a very serious fight in Bihar. But it is up to the people of Bihar to decide on that. We are nobody to.
Will he be a vote katwa or can he make a significant material difference to the outcome?
See, as I said, he putting as much as effort can achieve anything. What eventually it ends up to is on the people of Bihar how they choose.
Robin, is he a guru of sorts? a mentor, or do you think यार इसने नाम खराब किया, 300 बोली बीजेपी की आएंगी, आई नहीं, सबका इसने नाम खराब किया?
See, you have taken the word guru. See, as I will speak as a person with an Indian mentality now. The truth is that indirectly or directly, indirectly because of design box, but directly we are saying that today we are sitting here. It's because you, while introducing, you also mentioned the word CAG. Because of we got this opportunity created by Prashant in CAG in 2013. Whether we like him, whether we don't like him, doesn't matter. But the truth is that because of that platform is we are what we are today. We are able to advise Chief Minister, we are able to work with them because of that platform that started in 2013. He should get the credit for that.
Do you look at him as a father figure for the industry? Do you like, ये ऐसे हीरो बनता है, मेरे को भी क्रेडिट मिलना चाहिए, इसको फालतू एक्स्ट्रा क्रेडिट मिलता है?
I don't look at it like that. First of all, I've never worked with him. In fact, you will be surprised I've never met him also.
Oh, really?
These people have worked with him, so they have more understanding of his working style, etc. But about Bihar, as the question is, I think I'm first of all a very big fan of hard work. He's putting in a lot of hard work, a visible hard work. I know what it takes to do what he's doing. We do it for others, and we see that the outcomes are that we are sacrificing everything, whatever is in personal lives, and he's putting in a lot of hard work. And I think anyone who puts in hard work deserves results.
Any one of you nurturing political ambition, or what is about the ideology?
Robin.
क्यों, कहाँ जाएगा ये? कौन सी पार्टी?
Robin को सब पार्टी लेने को तैयार है. Robin has 5 Rajya Sabha offers.
5 Rajya Sabha offers.
One
One from TDP, where others are from where?
Others in 3 parties from this state itself.
3 parties from this state.
itself. One he is not
ये
disclosing.
फंसाएगा बॉस, आपका धंधा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
he's
खराब
not
करने में लगा
disclosing.
ये.
You should disclose the 5th one.
As I told you, I was really looking forward to this session, and I hope half an hour later you have a flavor of why. And I want you to join me in raising a very, very warm round of applause for these gentlemen and for the young teams they lead. You know, when you go to their offices during a campaign, it's like being in a college or a cafeteria. There's a lot of young, buzzy energy. They've got Excel sheets and they're looking at the numbers. And it is so much better that this be the approach. It's data driven, it's objective, rather than ye mera aadmi hai, ye uska aadmi, isko kharab. A lot of advice otherwise can typically be very biased. They try and fix it, which is also why they have these fancy contracts, and in the case of Naresh, these fancy suits. But anyway, we leave it over there. For joining us here at the India Today Conclave, for agreeing to be a part of this conversation, and for coming out in public and speaking. Thank you very much. We're very, very thankful. Thank you. Thank you and best wishes.
Thank you.
Raise a warm applause, ladies and gentlemen, as I call upon Mudit Dalmia, Vice President, NL Dalmia Institute and Management Studies, to come up and present a small token of our appreciation to our panelists this evening. And with that, we'd be ready to go into our next session this evening. A quick photo op. Give us just about a minute to turn around the stage and we are ready to go.